Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you have not been here before, thank you so much for coming. It's time for another. Alright you guys, I filmed an intro, but for some reason I sounded so nasally, so I redid the intro. But I already poured myself my glass of wine, so I was going to show you what wine it is I'm drinking today, because if you guys haven't been here before, my wine and design episodes are a mixture of a new wine and also graphic design. So I was like, there's no better combo than sipping on some wine and just doing your favorite passion in art. And I feel like wine actually kind of helps me design sometimes because it just relaxes my mind and I just get in that flow state even more. So anyway, this is the wine that I am sipping on today. I can't remember where I got it. I never remember, but it's a Cabernet. I love Cabernets. That's like my favorite thing during winter time or the colder weathers. I just really am drawn to the Cabernet Sauvignons. I always feel so fancy when I say that. Anyway, today I'm going to be showing you guys some social media graphics that I designed for one of my clients. So this is specifically Instagram story templates. And I wanted to show you guys this and also just kind of talk a little bit about social media, because it's one of those things where I feel like so many people need help with it. And if you are a graphic designer, most likely your Instagram feed is pretty aesthetic, so you're probably gonna get a lot of people asking you for help of making their feed aesthetic. But one of the things I would tell clients is, even though as a designer I think an aesthetic feed is just so beautiful and I'm drawn to it all the time, I feel like if you're not a designer, that's not super important. The content is what is important. I'm specifically talking about Instagram right now. Of course, there's like TikTok, all the other platforms where you really don't need to worry about super aesthetic thumbnails and stuff. But for Instagram, if your client is just going crazy trying to figure out how they can make their feed as aesthetic as yours, just remind them that the reason I do that is just because I am trying to get people for my design, so I have to make my feed look aesthetic and like I know what I'm doing. But for people that maybe are just fitness people or anything like that, then they don't really need to worry too much about making their feed so perfect looking. So I would just make sure to keep that in mind, and you don't need to tell them like this is what you have to do to keep like a pattern or anything like that. But I do think that just as humans and us being drawn to consistency, we do want to see some sort of consistency on someone's feed. So I did have a client reach out to me that I did her branding and her website for, and she started to realize that she just wants a very consistent story template where she can basically highlight that on her profile so that it matches the website, matches the branding, and it's just like very clearly her brand. So that's what I'm going to be designing today, is the templates for her, and it's super fun. I also did want to mention though, pricing yourself for social media graphics, because as a graphic designer, like I mentioned, you're probably going to get people reaching out asking you to do this for them. And if you're only doing certain packages like branding, and website, which is what I'm doing right now, you're not really advertising the fact that you create social media graphics, but people still are going to ask you. What I would recommend for you guys is to not charge hourly. The more experience you get, the more hourly rates just don't work, because you're so experienced, you're so fast now that you're not going to be getting paid as much as someone that's not as experienced. So it doesn't make sense at the end of the day. So think about it to yourself as how long it's going to take you to create the graphics. And not only that, just like think about the programs you pay for and all the things that go into it, and create your pricing around that. So that's how I would recommend it for social media graphics. I never really recommend hourly rates. I feel like the only time I would ever recommend that is if you're doing like a very small task for them, such as like a website maybe maintenance issue, or yeah, I really try and stay away from hourly rates. I would recommend staying away from them as well. But in terms of these social media graphics, if they say that they want to edit the graphics later on, what I would do is create the layout of it, and I was mentioning this in my last wine and design about Canva. I would make the main layout of everything, the images, and place it all there, but allow the text to be editable on Canva. But at the end of the day, I mean, if they have a custom font, you're gonna wanna tell them like, hey, like, it's gonna be really hard for me to make this editable for you because of that font. But there also is Adobe Acrobat that allows you to edit PDFs. So if you want, you can kind of teach them how to edit the text on there. But I would really encourage them to just continue using you if they just need small edits, and that's probably when you could do an hourly rate if they just have small text edits to those templates you make them. But yeah, anyway, enough with that. I feel like my videos lately have just been too much talking, and I wanted to show you guys how I designed these, so I'm going to put on some nice music and just kind of let the screen recordings go. Her brand is very beachy and Greek style, so it's going to be a very fun kind of aesthetic to put together. And also, one other thing before I jump into this, make sure that when your client reaches out to you about creating some story templates for them, make sure to ask them what are the main things they want to highlight on those templates. I don't know why I keep calling them templates. What are the main things they want to highlight on those designs? And make sure that you have like bullet points of things that they want you to pull from the website or pull from the event that they're going to be doing, because you don't want to spend extra time going and searching and trying to think off the top of your head what it is they want to share. So make sure to get all of your questions answered before you start the design process. So for her, it's an event that we're promoting, so I asked her like, what are the main things about the event that you want me to promote? And she did an amazing job of kind of organizing it for me in terms of like slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, and all that. So I'm doing 5 story designs for her. So that is that. But let's hop on over to my screen recording and I'll put on some nice music.
Everyone was standing idly by, trying not to watch or intervene as tears were streaming down her face, down her face. Try to let it go. Try to let it fall, to let it pass, to let it go. She held in her hand a ribbon of silk, so lightly that it would be caught in a breeze. She whispered words not meant to be heard. She started to shiver, though she didn't freeze. Try to let it go. Try to let it fall, to let it pass, to let it go. ribbon of silk.
You're gone now, will you coming back? Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. You're the traveling kind, it's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world, all the spaces inside your heart, I hope I'll be your end destination. I hope I'll be your life-changing sensation. I hope I'll be something that you won't let go. I'll be your high when you fall down low. I hope I'll be your end destination. You're far away and yet so close. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, you're up in space. You're inside the noise. I can feel you. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world, all the spaces inside your heart, I hope I'll be your end destination.
Alright guys, I hope that this video was interesting to you. Maybe it helped you. This is just proof of why a branding package is so important though, because you want to have those color palettes and those fonts, everything set up for you so that when it comes to things like this, it's kind of not easy, but it's just simpler because you know what colors, what fonts, everything to use. So definitely this is a huge proof reason as to why a branding package is so important. But yeah, I hope this was helpful to you. If you guys like this video, I would appreciate it so much if you gave it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in my next video.